Hi, everybody. Hey, Jack.
Hi, Bajir. Nice to see you.
So we are back with another challenge hand for non-bridge players. And Jack, of course, the goal of these, what we're trying to do, present some hands that even someone who's never played bridge before might be able to play, understand, and figure out, and either choose the right way forward or the wrong way. Is that
That's
about right?
that's entirely right. Yeah, we've got a fun hand lined up for them.
Okay. Now, I think some of you, perhaps bridge players or cinephiles, might recognize this hand, Jack, but we'll give a clue at the end of the video
Yes.
what we might be referring to. But Jack, let me know if I'm summarizing our challenge here correctly. We are north and south, and here we have to win all 13 tricks. We can't let west or east win a single trick. Is that our challenge?
Entirely correct. We've got to make all 13 tricks, Bajir. We can't afford to lose a single trick here. It's a tough challenge, but I will just introduce, we're playing in clubs here, which means that
What does
clubs are
that
trumps.
mean?
Yeah, so trumps, it's a technical word in bridge. It means basically if you run out of a suit and play a club, that trick automatically becomes yours. So think of your 13 clubs as mini aces. The three of clubs could bring down the ace of hearts or the ace of spades.
Okay, well, we have some good clubs then. Let's see how
Yeah.
it plays out.
Shall I give it a go?
Please do. Let us know when we have to make an important decision.
Yes. Well, the first decision's quite straightforward. We've run out of diamonds. We can literally just trump it with the three of clubs. So that trick becomes ours, okay? That's the
And
first
again,
trick.
for the non-bridge players, so Jack, we win this trick. We meaning north and south, we win it because the three of clubs beats the king of diamonds because the clubs are the trump suit.
Yes, and the auction's something we'll look at much later. But basically, this particular hand, clubs have been designated as trumps.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to play another club to the 9. And which club are we going to play from our hand? This is a big decision time. Do we play the ace, the queen, or the 10? And I'll give you a little clue here. East basically doubled this contract, saying I don't think you can make it, which means that actually they're more likely to have the missing clubs, because we're missing the king and the jack, aren't we?
So I guess our challenge here, in a way, there's only one way that we can win all 13 tricks.
Yes.
So my brain wants to win this with the ace so that we can be sure to win this trick. But our challenge here is to figure out the only possible way to win all the tricks.
Correct. So we're going to need some luck here, Bashir. I think that's crucial. We need some good fortune and maybe just a little bit of skill as well. Look what happens. Because if we win the ace of clubs, you see, we'll then lose to the king of clubs. We'd never make 13 tricks. So what card would you play? Ace, queen, or 10? Should we have a look? We're going to put in the 10. And I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that this 10 of clubs wins, otherwise I'm toast. Ah, they've discarded the 3 of spades. That's really good news. We're still in the game, Bashir.
All right, so that means the club king and the club jack both have to be in East's hand.
Correct. East has got the winning clubs, king and the jack. So if I just play out the ace of clubs now, that's fine. It'll win. But then I'm going to lose to the king. So can we find a clever way, good time to pause the video, of getting to north where we can play a club, Bashir? This is the challenge now.
All right. So feel free to pause the video, decide what card you're going to play next from Sal's hand. For the experienced bridge players out there, why don't you take a moment to plan your play forward? But for the non-bridge players, how are you going to give us the best shot we have of winning all of the remaining tricks?
Correct. And one thing
we
must
pause, Jack, so that they don't even have to click the pause button?
Yep, we've had a good pause, Bashir, and we mustn't play the ace of clubs. So we're going to play another diamond, look. And we're going to play another club from the dummy, making that trick ours. So that's a trump. And, oh my goodness, the ace of diamonds has popped up. Now, did anyone remember what diamond was played earlier? If you played a lot of bridge like I have for 40 years, it's relatively easy. But I'll tell you, it was the king of diamonds was played earlier by East. So they've now played the ace. Is that good news, Bashir?
I feel like it isn't good news.
It's really good news because the Queen of Diamonds is, when we get a chance, is going to be a winner. Anyway, that
Okay,
diamond
show us why. Got our Queen of Diamonds. Okay.
Yes, as South is going to be a winner because the Ace and King on. Should we see what happens next? So another club is played from North. The Jack of Clubs, we can win with the Queen. We remember that West doesn't have any clubs, so we know the Queen is going to win.
Right.
I'm going to play the Ace of Clubs, drawing out the last trump, everyone. So East, that King of Clubs. So I'm feeling
Jack, let me pause this real fast. How did you know that was the last club?
Because as I've been playing bridge a long time, but yeah, I was counting them. I wouldn't expect the beginners to count them just yet, but we have 10 clubs between us.
And you're allowed to count cards at the bridge table?
Sorry?
You're allowed to count cards at the bridge table?
Oh, yes, all part of the game. And the top players will do. The improvers and intermediates, don't need to. But it's all about experience. The more you play, the easier it becomes. So I knew that East had the King, Jack, and a little club. I think it was the 9, actually. So I'm now fairly confident. All the trumps have gone. So guess what card I'm going to play next as South?
Well, now I remember why it was good news that we saw the Diamond King and Ace come out earlier.
Yes, because we can play the Queen. It's a winner.
Now, I suppose same answer as what I just got. How did you know that West and East would play the 10 of diamonds? How did you know that would come out?
Well, again, because the Ace of Diamonds and the King of Diamonds were played by East a little while ago. So I know that the Queen is winner. But even if you didn't remember that, it'd be good to play the Queen of Diamonds, hoping it was a winner. Even if you hadn't remembered that the Ace and King have gone, which is a beginner, complete beginner. It's very early days. You're not going to, or probably not going to. But now I can continue, Bashir, with the 9 of Diamonds. It's a winner. Everyone's run out of diamonds. 8 of Diamonds. Notice that East is discarding really high cards, by the way. They're throwing the King of Hearts.
Poor East.
The poor East is having a nightmare. They've thrown the King of Spades. I now play out my last 2 winners, which are trumps, clubs. So they're bound to be. East have to throw the Ace of Hearts. East has had to throw the Ace of Spades, Bashir. We've made 13 tricks.
Look at East's hand.
East had 31. Yeah, look at all those look at all those cards they've got. Those aces and kings and queens. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it?
East had that hand, and they won 0 tricks.
We made all 13. That's quite a hard hand to play. When I give that to people sometimes as a surprise, even quite experienced players, they need me to kind of help them out with it because you needed a bit of good fortune. But some of our viewers, Bashir, will have recognized that hand. It's the most famous hand in bridge, written up by Ian Fleming in the James Bond book Moonraker.
And then was it also featured in the movie, or was the hand?
It wasn't featured in the movie because sadly most of the viewers wouldn't understand bridge.
Okay.
Parts, but it had about 5 or 6 pages in the book, and it was, James Bond was the goodie, and he fixed the pack. You see, because the auction, which beginners don't know about, is fixed. If you're wondering why South hit 7 clubs, James Bond had fixed the pack, and he knew that the baddie East, who I think was Drax, had all those points and couldn't win a single trick. Because the cards, we wouldn't do this in real life, of course, fix our cards.
Just to be clear, you're allowed to count cards at the table, but you're not allowed to rig the
pack. Oh, no. Well, Drax had been cheating all night, so Bond got his own back, and they were playing for money, although you don't really play for money in bridge. And Bond won about £250,000 on this one hand. It's fantastic.
Well, just like the last hand that you presented for a challenge that would be a challenge even for non-bridge players, I'll include a hand viewer link to this hand. Bridge players out there, feel free to share it and or the video with any non-bridge playing friends. Maybe we can get some new bridge players to the table. Jack, thank you so much.
Well, thank you a lot, Bashir. I really enjoyed presenting that hand. It is my favorite hand in bridge, and hopefully I'll see everyone soon for the beginner's course.
Very good. We hope so. Thanks so much, everyone.
Bye.